The Centurion Project. Written by the 8th Day of Night. Chapter 43. A Canterlot Wedding, Section 1, Part 2. Luna trotted swiftly through the long corridors of the castle. She had wanted to speak with Elias hours ago, perhaps persuade the man to take a lunch break with her. But she had gotten caught up talking with noble after noble. Each and every one brought forth inane laws, without a single good idea among them. They complained and droned on for hours, talking about this triviality or that social grievance some uncultured pony offended them with. It was a complete and utter waste of her time. Agreeing to be awake for the afternoon was easily one of the worst mistakes she had ever made, and Luna knew that as soon as she had her full magic back, she would become a nighttime-only princess again. Luna sighed her headache away. The only way she had escaped the prissy nobles was by snapping and ordering her guards to escort them from the castle, something the black-armored ponies did with vigor. Even they could only take so much, and they had not been as gentle as they pushed the still complaining nobles from her throne room. After that, Luna had taken off like a shot, more than ready to take a lengthy break. As she turned a corner, Luna nearly plowed into Bookbinder, who was also trotting along briskly. The unicorn yelped as she dove to the side. The effort only slightly helped. Both ponies tripped and fell to the ground, though, luckily, they didn't fall on top of each other. Luna hated when that happened. Her wings always seemed to get tangled up, making standing to get untangled impossible. Both mares scrambled to their hooves and brushed themselves off, with Bookbinder looking more sheepish of the two.
Sorry, Princess. I was just trying to catch up to Night Flash, and I wasn't watching where I was going.
Luna smiled at her.
It is no issue, fair Bookbinder. I should have been more mindful of myself. I was merely brooding on the insanity of the so-called noble class of Canterlot.
She finished straightening her regalia and looked at Bookbinder again.
So, is there some issue between you and God's Pony Flash? I would hope that with your engagement everything would be going swimmingly.
Bookbinder sighed.
Between us, everything is fine. It's between Flash and Elias that's the issue. General Bright won't let Flash's little brother apply for the Legion. Part of the no families rule we made. He's right, of course, but you know Elias.
Luna snorted and nodded.
Indeed, he can be quite blunt. If my guess is correct, I would assume he phrased it in a manner that said, "My way or the highway." Essentially,
Bookbinder replied.
So, Night Flash is mad, but I think things will be fine in the end. It's just a spat the two are going through. They're first, if I remember correctly.
Luna frowned.
Are you sure they will be alright? Night Flash can be best described as Elias's first and greatest friend in Equestria. At least, officially. Those two never get mad at each other.
Bookbinder waved her hoof.
Like I said, Princess, it's just a spat. Once we get through the march, Shooting Star will be free to join up, and he can train with Night Flash all day long. If anything, this is gonna make my mother-in-law happy. So, at least some pony will get a bit of benefit from the affair.
Luna watched as Bookbinder's eyes lit up. The unicorn gasped softly and quickly removed her saddlebags, drawing forth a small white envelope, which she quickly offered to Luna with a wide smile.
Here you go, Princess,
she said cheerfully.
Your invitation to our wedding.
Luna blinked in surprise as she gently took the letter in half. Sure enough, in pink lettering across the front it said,
For Princess Luna, my future daughter-in-law.
Luna flushed red and looked up to Bookbinder to find the mare smiling widely at her. Luna looked back to the invitation as her cheeks became a deeper shade of crimson. How could the unicorn before her be so bold? Had Elias told Bookbinder something? Made plans that ran parallel to her own? Her tail flicked with nervous energy as she decided to momentarily ignore the text in the letter.
You wish for me to attend?
She asked hesitantly. Bookbinder nodded.
Of course we do, Princess. I think you more than qualify as friends and family.
She saddled up closer to Luna and gently nudged her chest with her elbow.
Especially with you courting my baby boy.
She whispered in Luna's ear. Luna felt even more heat rise to her cheeks as the unicorn took a step back. Keepers, she was acting like a little filly caught in the act.
Maintain your composure.
Luna's inner voice screamed.
You are a princess. Act like it, even to your future mother-in-law.
That admittance made her even more nervous, especially given that the letter in her hooves was basically permission to continue her advances on Elias. Still, she had to play things cool. She had to prove to Elias's mother that she could be a calm, fitting match for her soon-to-be adopted son. Luna cleared her throat softly.
You, noticed that?
She asked meekly. Bookbinder snorted and smiled.
Princess, I would be a fool not to notice. You've been so obvious. The only reason Elias doesn't notice is because he isn't a pony, and has a tendency to make assumptions and not ask if he doesn't believe it matters.
Luna's nerves momentarily dropped as her heart sank slightly.
He doesn't think I matter.
She whispered. Bookbinder's eyes widened.
No.
She replied adamantly.
That's not what I meant, Princess. Of course he cares about you. It's...
She waved a hoof in the air as she tried to figure out the right words. Luna felt her breath hang tight in her chest as the unicorn spoke.
It's Elias.
Bookbinder blurted.
He believes the matters of his heart come second to everything else in life. With the whole Legion thing, it's coming in third or fourth. It isn't that he doesn't care, it's that he won't let himself care. He's trying so hard to stay strong and focus on training and such, and he sees things like friendship and love as a distraction.
She tilted her head.
I want to say he's wrong, but honestly, with what that man does in a day, I can't say I completely disagree. He just doesn't have a lot of time to focus on that kind of things these days. It's why I always say soon. Soon. So much is going to happen, and we will be able to watch in real time as his heart expands to absorb as much love as possible.
She shrugged him at Luna's eyes.
But only soon. Every show of affection until we're done has to be subtle, save for a plan or two I'm cooking up.
Luna frowned and looked at the carpet, tracing small circles with her hoof in the red plush.
So, he does care about me.
Bookbinder smiled sweetly.
Princess, I can't say for certain. Only Elias knows his heart. But I have a strong feeling that he won't disappoint you. He's just busy.
She leaned in close and gave Luna a gentle hug.
And if it makes you feel any better, I absolutely approve and will do everything in my power to bring you two together. I will not let that young man have a princess slip through his fingers.
Luna felt Bookbinder's grip around her tighten, and she felt her nerves return as the pony whispered in her ear.
That being said, if you manipulate my son and try to make him something he's not, or if you break his beautiful human heart, I will make your banishment look like a 1,000-year vacation. Am I clear, Luna?
The lunar princess felt a genuine tinge of fear. She had no doubts in her mind that if she was at full power, the protective bookbinder could inflict some pain. But with all her magic being slowly locked away, Bookbinder's threat was very real. Luna swallowed nervously. She had thought the letter was bold, but no, Bookbinder used her name publicly. That meant she was incredibly serious, and more than determined to protect Elias with a fierceness that sent a small shudder up Luna's spine. Adoptive mother indeed. But Luna was no pushover, and while she understood the genuineness of the threat, she steeled her resolve and returned Bookbinder's shrug with full force.
I would never do such a thing to Elias,
Luna whispered in reply.
And I think you know that. I only want what's best for him, even if that is not me. Should we both be wrong and he lust for somebody else, I will do everything in my power to see him happy with them. In that you have my word.
Bookbinder nuzzled her neck.
Good,
She said softly.
He'll surprise you though. He's always had a soft spot for you, and I have no doubt that he does love you. Give him time to come to terms with it, then make your big moves, alright?
Luna nodded as she pulled back from Bookbinder. The unicorn smiled right back, then looked pointedly at the letter on Luna's hooves.
So, Princess?
Bookbinder asked soothingly.
Are you coming to the wedding? I wish to,
Luna replied honestly.
but a princess will draw unwanted attention. I do not wish for your family to be harassed by the paparazzi on my account.
Bookbinder nodded to the still sealed envelope.
Strike one, princess. Check your invitation and try again.
Luna gave her a curious look, but opened the invitation. As she turned it upside down in her hooves to wiggle the card out, a small ring fell out. Bookbinder caught it with her magic, and it expanded into a modest silver hoof ring. She then levitated the ring into one of Luna's hooves, and Luna blinked in surprise as she felt magic wash over her body. She looked towards Bookbinder to find that she no longer towered over the unicorn, but matched her in height. Luna also noticed an absence in her upper peripheral, and she looked up to find her own horn missing. A flash of panic went through her body, and she focused inward, checking to ensure that her magic was still charging. She let out a sigh of relief that she felt her pool untouched, still forming at the base of her non-existent horn. She looked at Bookbinder, who was smiling widely back.
It's an illusion spell, princess,
Bookbinder said.
It set us back a few bits, but that ring will make you look like a regular old Pegasus. And save for your cutie mark, of course.
Luna looked towards her flank and was pleased to find that her cutie mark was still in the same place. She opened her mouth to ask Bookbinder how she looked, only to find a blue version of the mare staring back. Luna stared at her reflection, turning this way and that to get a good look at herself. Bookbinder poked her head above the mirror and giggled as Luna spun in a circle.
Not a bad illusion either, I might say. A bit of styling, and you could pass for my twin sister.
Bookbinder sighed as Luna frowned at her flanks.
Unfortunately, my more attractive twin. Good for Elias, though.
Luna blushed and turned back around, sliding into her saddlebags.
You think he will approve?
She asked.
Of course he will, princess.
Bookbinder replied as she collapsed the mirror and put it back into her saddlebags.
This spell may diminish your size a bit, but you're every bit as pretty as always. I imagine you'll be the talk of the reception.
Luna smiled and slid the ring from her hoof and tucking it into her saddlebags. Returned to her full size, she was once more towered over Bookbinder, but for some reason, Luna felt smaller than the mare.
I thank you, fair Bookbinder, and I think I shall indeed attend, even if only for a short while. Do I need to bring anything?
Bookbinder tapped her chin like she was thinking, but Luna could tell from the look in her eyes that she already knew what she wanted.
Well, I could use a fancy princess-level gift. Or,
Luna asked.
Or you could bring Elias as your unofficial date?
Bookbinder blurted.
I don't think that would work,
Luna said, shuffling her hose on the carpet.
Elias likely won't want to go. Certainly not with me.
Bookbinder snorted and waved her hoof.
You aren't the issue here, princess. The wedding itself is. He'll say something silly about how he's too busy or we don't actually love or want him. I'm the mayor helping maintain his schedules, and everything is on track to succeed on time. He will have an afternoon off to get a tux fitted and an evening to go to the wedding. It's going to be your job to get him in that tux, get your lovely self a dress, and then drag that boy to my wedding.
He smiled sweetly at Luna.
Like I said before, he's a bit blind when it comes to pony culture, but Mama Binder wants to see you two together just as much as you want him. So, she's going to conspire to get things moving along. I can't well outright tell him all the faux pas he's made without stressing him out further, so we do things in a roundabout fashion. He won't mind when he has a beautiful blue alicorn on his wing after this is all over.
Luna matched her smile and scooped the pony up in a bone-crushing hug. Even without her alicorn strength, Luna could tell that she was making breathing difficult for Bookbinder, but she needed to express her utter joy at having the mare's approval and aid.
Thank you, fair Bookbinder. It may take some time, but I shall do everything I can to make a good mare friend for Elias. So, you are bringing Elias to my wedding?
Bookbinder asked. A small squeak tinged her voice, but ultimately, the unicorn kept her composure despite being crushed. Luna snorted into her neck fur and nodded.
Indeed, I shall do my best to get him there. Do you have any recommendations to get him to accept the idea on his own? I want him to choose to come with me. We shall argue, I'm sure, but I don't want to force him too hard.
Bookbinder shrugged as she pulled away from the hug.
The secret is you, Princess. He likes you. The only impression I know is that his biggest argument against going will be work. And that's when he's in his office right now. Maybe get a stand-in for the time off? As long as some pony is running some kind of drill, I think Elias can be coerced into an evening off.
Luna nodded, her mind already racing at the news that Elias was alone. Putting aside, she could likely get him to take a small break with her. She needed to stop by the kitchen before she dropped by his office. A hot steak would do wonders to improve what was likely a blue mood. To Bookbinder, she said,
I shall do my best to convince him then. Have you invited General Nightshade or General Chaser?
Bookbinder frowned and rifled through her saddlebags.
I think I have one for Nightshade, but I didn't really count Midnight Chaser as friends or family. Should I invite him? Ice Blossom is his sister after all, and we invited her.
Luna shook her head.
No, leave him to me. A Royal Guards pony will be able to do much for me in getting Elias to the wedding.
She looked down the hall in the direction of Elias's office.
If there's nothing else, I wish to go brighten Elias's mood.
Bookbinder giggled.
Pun intended, I hope.
Luna blinked into the empty air before she cast a deadpan look over her shoulder at Bookbinder. The mare giggled and trotted the opposite direction.
See you soon, Princess. Hopefully with my darling human on your wing.
Gosh, this Elias and Luna thing is just so adorable to me. I absolutely love it, and that Bookbinder is a very much approved shipper of them. It is just adorable to see. I don't know, it's so fucking cute. I had a smile on my face during the whole chapter. What else I also have a smile on is when I thank my wonderful Patreons. Thank you, my tier 1s, Chase the Master, Jason, Squallwin Feather, Lunar Gaze, 8 Day of Night, Starlight Blaze, Hyperling, Night and Game, Redeemer of Dark, and Dreamless Portal. My tier 2s, Captain Blue Shadow, The Animated Ghost, Solus, HK4 aka Texture, Sword Brother and Mordred, Nocturne, DJMX 2000, Papa Lennon, Can Panzer, and Elemental Wolf. And of course a large thank you to my tier 3s, User 1842, Dark Guardian, Danish Dash, Maverick, and of course Silent Titan. I appreciate you guys' support so much, and it means a ton to me. That aside, however, this has been Firehearth. Have a wonderful day.